I love putting things together and having people come in here and smile at it, have somebody appreciate what you're doing, and the whole time you're really happy doing it. It's incredibly rewarding. Hi, I'm Tara Heibel, owner of Sprout Home. I'm originally from Erie, Pennsylvania, small little town on the lake. My family was into gardening to a certain degree. My mother is a self-proclaimed brown thumb, but my dad did all the gardening at the house. I ended up going to Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh. I studied fine art, and in particular painting. It was one of the few art schools that actually had other curriculum instead of it just being a pure art college. I graduated Carnegie Mellon, and then I went cross country and interviewed in the art world for jobs, and I ended up in Boston working in a lot of nonprofit galleries and museums. And after about a year, I ended up taking another cross country trip, and I ended up in Chicago. What drew me to Chicago was the people. I think the people in Chicago are incredibly down to earth and just very genuine. When I moved to Chicago, I was doing corporate art consulting, and on the side, I was doing a little bit of home rehab. In order to rehab the property, I went ahead and rehabbed the outside as well. And that was my first true experience of really getting down and dirty, into the earth. And I just really fell in love with that aspect. I thought there has to be some way to translate that into a future or a career. I started with the idea that I wanted to have a brick and mortar location. I knew I wanted my business in a certain area in Chicago because not only did I live in that area, but there was a need for said business. And I felt comfortable with Westtown, had been rehabbing buildings in the neighborhood, and I couldn't afford to rent a location in which could be taken away from us immediately and having to relocate to a completely different neighborhood after establishing ourselves. So I went ahead and decided to actually purchase property and build a building for the store. I wanted to be in this neighborhood for a long time. Maybe that's a way of making sure forcefully that we would be, but it worked. We designed the building so that if by chance that little 0.5% that Sprout might fail, it could easily be turned over into a restaurant or bar as well. It's you always have to think about plan B. I had no business or schooling or anything like that, but it didn't stop me. Sprout Home is not just a garden center. You can design with plants. Plants have their own aesthetic. People like to put them together, and it expresses your outlook on everything. We help people put together arrangements, whether it be floral or plants for their home, both inside and outside. And we try to do it with our own touch of Sprout Home. Small businesses are very important. 95% of all the businesses around here are independent, and it's been getting stronger and stronger. I actually am the president of the Chamber of Commerce over here, so I like to kind of make sure that myself and other business owners kind of have a say in what's going on and work together to make sure this neighborhood is prosperous. And what I love most about being the owner of my own business is the ability to control my days. I like setting my own guidelines. There's a certain weight to that, but the freedom is wonderful. And I don't ever have to wear a suit or sit behind a cubicle if I don't want to. I like coming into the store. I like coming in and talking to the customers. Our customers are kind of family because I've seen their faces for 10 years and I know their families, and it makes me feel really good to know that people are seeking us out, like I did something right.